Alice. Oh, Alice, 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 Alice. What on earth to say about you? Well, except a game that is fucking boring. Oops, I'm giving my opinion in the way in the first 10 seconds of this video. It's going to be a wild ride. Alice Madness Returns, or Wonderland Returns, whatever the fuck it's called. What a boring event. The game situates yourself in the Wonderland as you go back through and trying to figure out what on earth is going on. You start yourself in modern day London, past London, it's hard to tell, the graphics are murky as hell, and you slowly slip back into Wonderland. Alice, what happened to you? I mean, I know you've got those terrible like movies and you got some subpar games, but come on mate, let's try it. So let's start off. We'll use our XMVR rating system, and I'm going to put arbitrary numbers on the end of things and like they mean anything, and then give it a score at the end like it means anything. People can argue with me and fight with me, I don't care. So graphics, I know this game is old, it's older than time itself. It's not that old, it's a remaster for the 360 I believe. Graphics, we're going to give this a solid 6, just because everything is so murky and everything just looks so bland. There's nothing that's really eye-popping. There's a few different structures that pop up in the later stages that look like some kind of fortress or something. Looks okay. It saves it from getting like a 4, like a 3, 4, 5. Graphically, the game is very just drab to look at. In the first few levels, you'll find yourself trying to do some platforming, and it's just difficult to tell where you're meant to be going, where you've just come from, because all the terrain looks exactly the same. It's very dull, very boring. You'll move between different enemies. They're all very blandly designed. It's not fun. It's just, you just get through it. I mean, you might be interested in it if you're like a fan of all the Alice series. It would be very difficult to see if you actually are a fan of the Alice series at this point. So yeah, boring graphics, boring gameplay. It's your standard hack and slash. You've got your attack. You just your swipey knifey. You've got your pepper attack, which is basically like a Gatling gun. You've got just you can make yourself small to go through keyholes. I don't know if that's a part of the Alice lore. Don't know. I'm not an Alice fan. Gameplay 5, 4. Let's go 4. Boring. The platforming sucks. Trying to find out you're trying to figure out how to jump, double jump, and triple jump, because that's a thing apparently. Trying to figure out the spaces between each of these different platforms is more arduous than it is fun. You'll try and double jump, you'll try and land on this little floating domino, and you'll miss it. If you miss it, it is subscribed to the terrible PlayStation 1 days of, if you miss a platform, you have to go all the way back and track all the way back to where you were before, use different boring bounce pads, and jump and follow your way all the way through to miss something that looks like you could reach it, but it's out of reach. And it's not fun platforming. It's just poor. Narrative. What to say about the narrative? I mean, you follow sort of an arduous path of the game as it plays out. The story isn't too easy to understand because it relies on the fact that you've played the first Alice game, which I didn't actually know existed until I had to Google it before recording this. You create different memories, or you open different memories, and they just kind of allude to some backstory which doesn't really make too much sense because you're playing it and you don't really know what it's on about. Narrative, let's give it a fat old 6. It doesn't matter. None of these numbers matter. Yeah, the game believes that scary faces are scary. It's like you sat in a creepypasta for just far too long. You're faced instantly with this cat with this big creepy face, and you see it once, you're like, oh, that's a bit different, and then you see it 4 or 5 times within half an hour, and you're like, okay, well, clearly Alice prescribes to the repetitive is scary, and I can tell you this for free. Repetitive is not scary. It's boring. Boring. Boring as well. There's also a lot of creepy doll faces. When you see them the first time, it doesn't really raise more than one eyebrow. But when you see them 9 or 10 times, it's just dull. you'll see the same enemies over and over and over again, just copy and pasted. You'll see an enemy pop up in one environment and you'll see it pop up in the next environment. So it's pretty clear that doesn't really mean anything. So let's move quickly onto the audio. Audio is actually not too bad. Let's give audio a whopping, 8. Yeah, the audio is okay. It collects enough of the ambiance, and it just allows just you to just be involved in the sort of Wonderland environment enough. It's harmless. The audio is okay. It's probably a saving grace. Technical. How does the game work out? Pretty poorly. Platforming bad. Gameplay not great. Story not amazing. Everything else is just moderately okay. I'm taking the fact that it's an oldish game as a remaster, so it's a 360 release, but that doesn't save it because it is on Game Pass, and that's what the series is all about. Technical, let's hit it with a 6. So that's Alice Returns. It's returned once. Let's not return it again because there's really no point. I wouldn't bother, but if you're a fan of the Alice series, then you might want to give it a go, but I wouldn't bother.